My pregnant sister stole my car, so I had her arrested. She said she needed it for the baby. My own parents showed up with a car hauler while I was sleeping. Just give her the car. You're her sister. I never thought my family would betray me over something as basic as a car. But here we are. My name's Emily, I'm 27, and this is the story of how my pregnant sister, with the help of my own parents, tried to steal my car, and how I ended up calling the cops on my own blood. Growing up, Maya and I were opposites. I'm the older one, the planner, the one who always followed the rules. Maya? She was the baby of the family, spoiled, whiny, and always got her way. But I thought we'd outgrown that dynamic. Turns out, I was wrong. Dead wrong. I own a 2010 Honda Civic, reliable, simple, and most importantly, paid off. I've kept it in pristine condition. After being laid off last year, I've only been working part-time, so the lack of a car payment has been a lifesaver. My Civic is more than a car. It's my independence. My freedom. Meanwhile, Maya drives a beat-up 2002 Ford that she barely maintains. She's 24 and 7 months pregnant. Her car breaks down constantly. I picked her up off the side of the road more than once. And yes, I feel bad for her. But again, not my fault. Not my responsibility. A couple weeks ago, during Sunday dinner at our parents' house, she dropped the bomb. You know, she said, barely looking up from her plate, you could just let me have your car. I laughed. Nervously. Awkwardly. No. That's not happening. But she wasn't joking. She launched into a full speech about how pregnant women shouldn't be driving unsafe cars. How my Civic would be perfect for getting to doctor's appointments, how she needed something safe for the baby. Mom jumped in too. Honey, you hardly even drive these days. You work part-time and only go out for groceries. Maya needs it more than you. I felt ambushed. Even Maya's husband joined the choir. For the baby's sake, maybe you could reconsider, he said. They even offered to let me borrow Maya's death trap whenever I really needed a car, like that was some kind of favor. I said no. A hard, final no. Maya burst into tears. Big, dramatic ones. You don't understand how scary it is being pregnant and driving a car that could fall apart any minute. If you really cared about your nephew, you'd want him safe. I snapped. Your baby's safety is your responsibility. Not mine. I'll drive you if it's an emergency, but I'm not handing over my car. Silence. Mom looked at me like I'd slapped a child. Maya sobbed harder. Her husband frowned. Dad said nothing, just shook his head, disappointed. Dinner ended with everyone glaring at me like I'd just kicked a puppy. And as I drove away in my car, I felt the guilt creeping in. Maybe I am being selfish. But no. No, damn it. I worked for this. I paid for it. I maintain it. I'm barely making ends meet myself. I told myself the drama was over. But that was just wishful thinking. The real nightmare began the following Saturday. I was sleeping in. Blissfully unaware. Until I heard the rumble of a truck engine, and the metallic clink of chains in my driveway. I peeked out the window, and froze. Standing in my pajamas, I saw my dad's pickup truck backed into my driveway, and it wasn't alone. Attached was a car hauler, and my dad was halfway through hooking my Honda up to it. My car. My baby. My breath caught in my throat. I threw on jeans and a hoodie, barefoot, and stormed out the door. The morning air was cold, but my blood was boiling. What the hell are you doing? I screamed, sprinting toward the driveway. They all froze. My mom raised her hands like she was trying to calm down a wild animal. Sweetie, please, just listen. But I was already grabbing my phone. Unhook my car or I call the police. Right now. Dad tried to reason. There's no need for that. We're family. We can talk this out. Oh, now we're talking things out? while my car is literally half strapped onto a trailer in the middle of a heist? I pushed past my mom and yanked at the straps on the front wheels. They were halfway up the ramp. Halfway gone. Then I saw Maya, standing near the mailbox like some twisted lookout. "You wouldn't let us do this the easy way," she hissed. "That's why we tried it like this. Stop being so dramatic. I need this car. I lost it. You're literally stealing from me. What the hell is wrong with all of you?" Dad tried to backtrack. "We thought if we just got the car, we could talk afterward. Once you'd calmed down." Mom was pleading. "We thought it was for the best. Maya's due soon. She needs the car more than you." I barked. "So your plan was to sneak over while I slept and take it? Like thieves in the night?" No one answered. Dad finally threw up his hands and muttered, "You're impossible." Then stomped off to unhook the trailer. But Maya? Maya wasn't done. She waddled right up to me, belly and all, and said, "I already told everyone you were giving me the car. My in-laws, my friends, everyone. You're making me look like a liar." My jaw dropped. "You what?" "Oh, and we're throwing my baby shower at your house," she added casually. "It's already planned. You didn't even ask me. You were going to give me the car," she snapped. It was going to be the big reveal, a surprise gift at the shower. This wasn't just entitlement. This was a full-blown delusion. I looked her straight in the eye and said, "You need to tell everyone the truth. I never agreed to give you my car. And your baby shower is not happening at my house." She started crying, again, wailing about how I was ruining everything, making her look bad, hurting her reputation. Mom pulled her into a hug. "Couldn't you just go along with it, for her sake? We'll sort out the details later. She's pregnant and stressed." "For her sake?" I snapped. "You want me to lie to a room full of people? Pretend to be okay with this? Throw her a party where I surprise her with a car I never agreed to give?" Dad honked the truck horn. "Let's go." They finally left, thankfully, without my car. I stood there in the driveway, trembling. Watching them drive off, I felt like I was in a nightmare. I thought that would be the end of it. I was wrong. Later that day, I started getting bombarded with messages from family. Maya had already spun the story. According to her, she simply asked for the car and I exploded on her. Poor, pregnant Maya, sobbing and heartbroken. Suddenly, I was the villain. They called me selfish, cold, a monster. And for a moment, again, I wondered if maybe I was. But I knew the truth. And I knew what I had to do next. Because if I didn't, I had a feeling they'd try again. Dinner, lies, and a getaway. Camera fades in on a quiet family kitchen. Soft clinking of silverware. Suspense simmers beneath false calm. After the tow truck fiasco, I became paranoid. I started parking my car at a friend's house overnight just in case. I was cautious, but not cautious enough. A few days later, my mom called. Her voice was soft, sugar-coated. She apologized for everything, said the car hauler incident was a misunderstanding and that they all just wanted to talk things out like a family. She even invited me over for dinner. I should have known better. But I wanted to believe her. I wanted to believe we could go back to normal. So, like a fool, I agreed. I drove over that evening in my Civic. Just Mom and Maya were there. Dad was working late. We had dinner. It was awkward, but civil. I let myself believe this was a peace offering. Maybe, just maybe, they were actually trying to fix things. After dinner, Mom asked if I could help her carry a few boxes of baby stuff out to Maya's car from the garage. Sure, I said. No big deal. She handed me a box. I carried it outside. Then I heard it. My car's engine. I froze. Turned. My Civic was reversing out of the driveway, with Maya behind the wheel. I dropped the box. Hey! I screamed, chasing after her. Stop. She didn't. She rolled down the window just long enough to shout, "Thanks for coming around, sis. I knew you'd do the right thing." Then she hit the gas and disappeared down the block. I stood in the driveway, shaking, furious, stunned, still holding that stupid cardboard box. My mom came running out behind me. "Don't be mad," she said breathlessly. "We'll figure out payment. She needs the car. You'll understand someday." "You tricked me," I said. "You lied just to get me here." She tried to backpedal. Claimed it was for the baby. That they were going to pay me back somehow. I didn't respond. I pulled out my phone, turned away from her, and ordered an Uber home. The moment I got inside my house, I called the police and filed a stolen vehicle report. And then I messaged the family group chat. "Maya has stolen my car. I have filed a police report. If it's not returned immediately, I will press charges." Silence. No one responded. Not a word. My pregnant sister was arrested for stealing my car. Cut to police radio chatter, nighttime highway shot, red and blue lights flashing. It didn't take long. That same night, the police located my car and Maya. She was pulled over on the highway heading toward her home. The moment the officers approached, she went full performance mode. Told them I had given her the car, and this was all a big misunderstanding. Unfortunately for her, the registration was in my name. I had already filed the theft report. Her sob story didn't hold up. They arrested her. Yes, my 7 months pregnant sister was handcuffed and taken to jail for auto theft. I got the call from the police asking if I wanted to press charges. I hesitated for half a second, and then said yes. It wasn't easy. I hated the image of my sister, pregnant and alone, sitting in a jail cell. But she had stolen from me. Planned it. Tricked me. And laughed as she drove away. She made this choice, not me. They towed my car to an impound lot. I could pick it up the next day. But that night? That night, all hell broke loose. My mom called. Screaming. Crying. "You got your own baby sister arrested? She's pregnant. She could go into labor from the stress. What is wrong with you?" I calmly told her that Maya committed a crime. And that I had warned them exactly what would happen if they tried anything again. Mom wasn't listening. "Undo it. Tell the police it's a mistake. She's your family." I hung up. A few hours later, my phone rang again, an unknown number. I shouldn't have answered. But I did. It was Maya. Calling me from jail. She was sobbing, barely coherent. Begging me to drop the charges. "Please, Emily, do it for the baby." Then her tone flipped. "You're heartless," she spat. "You're risking my son's life over a damn car." I hung up again. I was done with the guilt. Done with the manipulation. Later that night, my dad showed up at my house. I didn't let him in. We talked through the screen door. He was calm, unlike Mom. Said the whole thing had gotten out of hand. She's learned her lesson. You got the car back. Isn't that enough? I stared at him through the mesh screen and asked, "Why didn't you stop them before it came to this?" He didn't have an answer. Just looked at the ground and muttered something about keeping the peace. I told him peace had sailed a long time ago. The next morning, I picked up my Civic from the impound. It was dirty, low on gas, but otherwise intact. Later that day, Maya was released on bail. Her husband paid it. And not long after, I started getting texts. From her number. "You traitor. You'd better sleep with one eye open. You made enemies." Charming. I don't even know if it was Maya or her husband texting. But it didn't matter. I was done. I told my family that from this point forward, all communication would go through a lawyer. And I meant it. You'll regret this one day, Auntie. It had been a few days since Maya was bailed out. I naively hoped the storm had passed. I was wrong. One afternoon, there was a knock at my door. Two men stood outside, Maya's husband, and one of his random, greasy friends. I shouldn't have answered. But I was tired of hiding. I stepped onto the porch, closed the door behind me. Maya's husband started politely. We all want this nonsense to stop. It's too much stress for Maya and the baby. I agreed. Then tell your wife to stop stealing from me. He shifted. We're willing to work something out. We'll pay you for the car, like, monthly. $200 a month. I blinked. Was this a joke? They were trying to buy the car now? On a layaway plan? I said no. Firm. Cold. Then the friend jumped in, angry. You're being selfish. That car's not even new. I snapped back. If it's such a great deal, why don't you give them your car? He stepped toward me, aggressive. If anything happens to that baby, it's on you. I took a breath and looked him dead in the eye. No. If anything happens, it's on all of you, for enabling this insanity. Now get off my porch. Her husband pulled the friend back. Muttered, let's go. But not before the guy hissed, crazy bitch. I locked the door. Then I called the non-emergency police line to report the harassment, just to have it on record. I told my mom. I shouldn't have. She scolded me. Me. For escalating things, she said. You didn't need to threaten to call the cops on your brother-in-law. I laughed bitterly. Maya, at least, was legally blocked from contacting me directly. One of her bail conditions. So instead, she had others do her dirty work. But then, 2 months later, I got one final blow. A mass email. A family birth announcement. Maya had given birth to a baby boy. Attached was a photo. And a message. Clearly aimed at me. Dear OP, I hope you're happy. Your nephew and I almost died because you forced me to keep driving that piece of junk car. I went into early labor from the stress, and my car broke down on the way to the hospital. If my son had been hurt, it would have been on you. But don't worry. We're fine. I'll just make sure he grows up knowing his aunt didn't care. I didn't respond. I didn't care if it was true or exaggerated. Either way, it was pure emotional blackmail. So I took action. I contacted the police to confirm that charges were still moving forward. Then I sent a final message to my family. I am going no contact with Maya and Mom. Do not call, text, or email me again. Any further contact will go through legal channels. And I blocked them all. Except my dad. Maybe. A few extended relatives reached out, having heard Maya's side of the story, where I was a cruel villain. But once they heard my side, their tone changed. Turns out, Maya conveniently left out the part where she literally stole my car. Now, some of them, including a few aunts and cousins, are firmly in my corner. I don't know what will happen legally. That's in the prosecutor's hands now. What I do know. I have my car. I have my peace. And I have no regrets. Checkered flag, the end.